Break Street.
What's up, you guys? This is Tony Fontana from Break Street Productions, and thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving weekend and a great Black Friday weekend as well. So what I'm planning to do in this month, I'm making a 3-part video series about the whole Izotope studio bundle package I just bought from Sweetwater. It comes with 3 plugins. So they go by the Alloy 2, which is good for mixing your instruments and even your vocals. Also, it comes with the Nectar 2, which is to use on your vocals primarily. And also the last one, and then the big one, and it's a new one from Izotope, is the Ozone 6. It's great for your mastering. And if you don't have one of those plugins or any plugins at all for mastering, this is a good one right there. So I'll be going over those 3 plugins. Not in this video, I'll be going over the Alloy 2 only, but the other ones I'll go over the rest of them, and they will be released this month. So let's check the first one out.
Okay guys, so this is my session that I had last week with my friend who happens to be rapping on this track, but for today, the sole purpose, I'll just be playing you my instrumental track with the Alloy 2 insert that I put. And so as you can see, it starts off with the preset manager. It has a list of settings of the presets, but what you could also do is you can also save your presets and all the tweaks that you've done in the past. You can basically have them here on the preset manager. Simply clicking on the global button. Or what is also pretty cool is that you can also go to your history and say, hey, you know, I like the way how I did this, or I like the way how I made my kick drum sound punchy by doing some tweaks on the compressor, giving it a high attack, or whatever the case may be. It has it all listed here. And you could go about it probably for a few days. I believe it does erase the very old ones, but you know, it's a really neat thing to have, and I'm still learning how to get familiarized with this whole plugin, so bear with me, and we'll go over each setting one by one, and I'll do as quickly as I can, try to keep this video short. So what we see here is the overview of the whole plugin. You can see the equalizer, the transients, exciter, and my dynamics 1 and 2. I didn't use the de-esser or the limiter options just because I didn't see the point of using them for this track. The limiter, not too much of a fan using it while on mix. It's something that my professor has said in the past, and maybe one day I would find a good reason to do so, but for this case I didn't use it, so I'll still go over it and let you know some of the settings that they have for this insert. So basically, this whole plugin itself is a channel strip, and it starts off as an equalizer. And I did some subtracting over here, about 30 hertz, 180, 685, 1372, and 9230. And I did some subtracting, mainly just the fact that some of my instruments were being too present or a little too loud on the frequency spectrum, and it was a little hard for me to hear the vocals because those instruments were a little too distracting, and so I had to automate them, cut them out a little bit more, bring the decibel down. That way you can hear the vocals of the recording I did with my friend. So equalizer, and you have the options to choose what bell shape you want, vintage bell, the regular bell. You also choose low shelf, analog, vintage, and it's pretty much the same way between the high one. Then the low pass is a little different, which it gave me this one, the flat one, by putting high pass and several different options as well. I haven't gone through them all the way yet. As I said, I'm still learning how to use the Alloy 2 and looking more into it, but you know, you have 4 different options to choose from when you're mixing and EQing your track. So we'll go over the transient now, and basically I did do a little research on this, and what the transient is basically emphasizing and making your percussive hits more present and controlling the time of those hits. So say for example you got your snare drum, it sounds snappy, you want to control it, and you want to control within the mid-range of that, make it a little full and punchy. You can simply turn up the attack, making it sound more punchy, turn down the sustain to emphasize that, kind of release it quickly. It's a hard-hitting, punchy snap, but it still gives you that whole body sound overall, and it doesn't ring for a long time because you're bringing the sustain down. So that's what the sustain is. It helps make the attack hit last long. You have the other option right here of the multi-band, and this is the multi-band view where you have your low, mid, and your high band and single band. Just a whole wavelength spectrum that you're able to see on the screen. I'll play it. As you can see, the whole wavelength, audio signal that you see. So you have that option and you have that view. So another cool feature. And this is another cool feature, and really nice one, is the exciter. As far as trying to control your overall sound, this is pretty much what's going to help you to give you the sound that you're looking for, depending on how you want it. And you have your tube, you have your tape, retro, and your warm settings. And the drive, it just basically emphasizes more of that excitation or overall sound that you want. I tried to turn up the drive, and I noticed that it was it gave me more of a distorted sound. So do be careful with that, but depending on how you want your track to sound, use your ears to the best of your ability. You do have your multi-band option, which is another cool feature. You just go about it and mess around with the settings on each band, either the high, mid, and the low frequency spectrum. So totally up to you how you want to go about it. In this case, I just wanted to do the single band, just to try it out. And you got your Dynamics 1 and Dynamics 2 is the same thing, but in this case, my Dynamics 2, I just do light compression just to kind of give me a little extra boost of energy into my track. The first one, I did more compression in it. You also have your single band and your multi-band. So 3 bands overall again. Went into each band. The low did some reduction, minus 13.1 with 3.2 to 1 ratio, and did a little bit more on the mids, 2.6 to 1 ratio with the minus 18.5 threshold, and a little light one on the highs, minus 10.1 dB threshold with a 2.6 to 1 ratio. And you have option 2. Just go with each band, clicking over here to control the gain volume and the mix of, or the amount compression that you want on your overall mix. And you could do for either the whole frequency band or each band individually, which is the 3 low, mid, and high. So again, go about it. You have your side chain options right here, making either your kick duck a little under your bass, or vice versa, depending on what you want or how you want your track to sound. Go over here to de-esser. I didn't really use it for this one. If I use it for my vocals, or if I do decide to use it for another instrument or a vocoder per se, I would use this. But then again, you can use this as a multi-band option, going around the frequency spectrum, or just go about it, just drag it here wherever you want to go, wherever you start to hear any sibilance or anything that might sound too piercing, kind of give you a more balanced sound. This is the plugin to use, the threshold to reduce the gain level, and your attack and release options that you got here. So it's another compressor in itself, but more it emphasizes the little things that are gonna help a track to sound that much better. And you got your limiter right here, and the last one, it would be best just to use it for your mastering and now your mixing. Just to kind of give you more control of dynamics in a sense. Yes, that's fine, but I think in the mix you should have the ability to have the flexibility to control your own dynamics instead of having some plugin to do it for you. But that's a whole different topic. I don't want to go into it. And so right here, your mode, depending on how much limiting you want to do for your track, you could just click the hard or the soft options depending on what mode you want. The speed, threshold to reduce the gain level, and the margin, basically it's your ceiling, or what peak or what point you want the output of the signal to go out, or how much you want it to stop, or what point you want the gain level to stop at. And this is another cool feature too, your phase rotate. You can use this for your one of your instruments, say for example like a snare drum or guitars that sound out of phase. You can simply push this and you could adjust the knob, turn it up, turn it down, depending on how good it sounds. You mess around with that, and it should help you to give you more presence and cut through the mix a lot better. Alright, so that's basically it, and that's all there is to it. But if you do like to learn more about this plugin, just let me know, comment below, send a message on my Facebook page. I am planning to release a website for Breakthrough Productions, so stay tuned for that. But for the meantime, thank you guys for watching this video. There will be 2 more this month, so stay tuned for that. And once again, thank you guys for sticking around, and have a great day, y'all. Peace.